Hello my dear software developers and QA engineers. Today we continue to explore Playwright, and we already created our global setup with our login flow, and we added this tiny test just to check that we can open our profile page. Now let's create something more complicated than just this. Let's try to test our posting functionality. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to Reddit and click this button, add to post. Then we're gonna fill in the form and post it, and then we should check if our post is saved and displayed correctly. The test for post will be a bit trickier than the tests that we wrote before, because the elements there, first, if you go, let's say we go to the page reddit.com submit, so elements here are a bit different, and for example here you don't really have a select, it's just divs, HTML elements, and there is no proper selector like test ID or label or something, so we only can get it by text, and this as well. And here this area for typing, it's not text area, it's again just a div with some CSS classes, and I'll start to write it manually now, and you'll see why it is a bit trickier. So let's go to our test that we copied, and let's rename it to post, and here we will go to reddit.com submit to test our post. Let's delete this. So if I just run this test as it is now, just to go to the page, so you see this cookie pop-up that covers a bit of our area that we want to click on. So we need to click this accept button, and let's do it right after we came here. So we want to get by text, and we will find a text that says accept and click. Then this choose community select, let's inspect it, and you see that it is not even it is not even a select box, it is an input with a placeholder. So to open the drop down we need to focus on this one or click on it. So let's get it by placeholder, await page, get by placeholder, and let's copy it. It's gonna be choose a community, and then we want to click on it. We want to choose a community, this user property law whatever. Let's try to inspect it. I can't really inspect it, so okay, I'll copy it from here. So the next step will be get by text, and again we want to click. So we selected our user where he will make a post. After we selected community, we can try to type the title for our post, and this element again we can get by placeholder. It is a text area with placeholder title, so let's get by placeholder title field. It's gonna be our test post, and you might think that here in the next text input we have just to replace this title with the text optional, but if we run this it's not gonna work, because this is not a placeholder, this text optional. If we go here and we inspect it, there will be a little piece of CSS. I don't remember where was that. Okay, so basically this text is not in the DOM, it is in CSS, so we can't really find it. But you see we have a class here. If you go to locators, let's find locate by CSS, because here we have a class. We have a class public draft editor content. So let's copy this class, and what we can do page locator CSS equal and then our class. So page locator accepts a string CSS equal, and let's put a dot here because it's a class, and I think now it should work. So let's run it, and you see we managed to fill this text area, this fake text area, with our text. So the next step is to post, and this is relatively easy because this post button, it has our role button, and we can use it as normal one. So it's gonna be await page get by role button name post. We also want to add exact true because there are few elements with post. So let's do it just in case and then click on it. And if we run it now, you see we added our post. Now it's time to write our assertions. We want to check that we have our title and the text that we added. So let's write this. We have this title. Oh yeah, I need to find an element first. Page get by text, and then I'll paste it here. Title. So that's our title, and we expect it to be visible, of course, and we also want to find our text, and text should also be visible. So let's run it, and you see it passed. Okay, so you see we have our test post, and if we go back to the profile, you'll see that we have two posts with the same name and text. So there are two options. Just to identify that we are adding a new post, we could randomize the title, or we could just in one test we could also add post and delete it. So in this case we will test two sides of the functionality, adding and deleting the post, and we also will not leave these undeleted posts there. So let's do it. Let's write a delete for our post. We need to click on these three dots and click delete, and click delete post, and it will delete our post. So let's see how can we locate this element. It is a button. Maybe we could find it by these more options. Let's try. Let's try to see if it's gonna click. Yeah, so you see when we were running it second time, it complained that we have two posts with the same name. Okay, I'll comment it for time being. Okay, it complains because we have two elements. We can narrow it, we can use the hint that Playwright gives us, and we can just use this locator, get by test ID, post container, and then get by label more options. Let's try once again. Okay, we added a post and we opened the menu, and now we have to click the button. Okay, we can get it by role, menu, item, and then it's gonna be get by role. It's gonna be name, delete, and then click. Okay, now it worked, and now we want to click on the delete post. Oops. So let's inspect it. Again, it's just a roll button and just a simple click. As you see, our post is deleted successfully, and there was even a little toast message about it. So let's do an assertion. So we're going to find it. It was post deleted successfully, I think. So let's make it page get by text, and we expect this to be visible after we deleted the post, and you see it is passed. So now I still think that we have to randomize our post names, because, for example, if by some reason in one test run we will fail to delete the post that we created, and it will be there with this same name that we always use, then when our tests will run next time, they will fail again and again, because it will always find like 2 or 3 or 4 posts with the same name. So let's try to randomize. I will just Google a script for like get random string JavaScript. I need something really simple. I don't want to. Okay, we can just use crypto module and get some random bytes. So let's install this module. So what was the random bytes? Okay, let's import them, and we need this random name, const random post name, and we can just do it this way. I think we can even do it like this. And okay, this thing is gonna be random string, and we paste it here. Our test post random string, and our test post text random string again. So now instead of the hard-coded text here, we post this, and we also post them here. So everything is the same. Now let's try and run it again. You see it added the random identifier for our post, and now we can also delete it. It says deleted successfully and says that our test passed. So I'm actually curious how it is deleted, and okay, it just still shows the page, but post is not here. So you see we created a bunch of posts that we need to delete. I noticed that we have this remove button here as well, so we probably could even delete it easier than we do it with the 3 dots menu. I don't know if we want to do it right now. I guess we can leave it as we have it now. It doesn't really matter. So you see our test for the post functionality. It is quite long compared to the profile where we just tested like that we can open the page and see something there. So this one is a bit longer, and we could split it in few parts using page object model approach that you can read about it in the documentation. It's abbreviation POM, page object models. So to optimize these tests, we can structure them in a special way that's described on this page. I will leave the link below so you can just read it yourself. And we want to do something similar to this. What I would do, I would create a class with the name post, and in this class I would create few methods, for example, create and delete. And I would put this code there, and here in the test I would create a new post using class, and then just called methods delete and create instead of just writing this code. And if I will have another test suite where I need to create a post, I will not copy paste all the stuff. I'll just create another post using the class and just will call the methods. So now let's try and refactor it using page object model. We will start our refactoring with creating a new folder here. Let's call it page object models. And inside this folder we will create a new model, and let's call it post model.ts. And I'll just copy here this import, and let's write our class. Let's put class post, and this post will have a read-only page and also constructor that will get the page and assign it. So that's pretty standard boilerplate code. And then here we can just define methods that we're gonna use. So let's say we want to create post, and don't forget it's gonna be asynchronous. And let's have a title for the post. It will be string, and text, it will be also string. We can copy these lines that are creating our post here. just need to add this page. And instead of this random blah 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 stuff, we are adding our text and title. And what else we can create? We can also choose a community method. We'll also pass the community here and copy these two strings where community is gonna be here. And we also have our delete post code here. So this will be our third method, delete post. I think we actually can put this assertion here as well to create post, because that's the part of it. So yeah, and the deletion code is this, and we will put it inside here. And again, now when we extracted our code into this post class, we can create a post here. And we can just call it like this, await post, choose community, and we are choosing this community and removing these lines. Then we are create post, and it's gonna be here, and our random post name and random post text go here, and then we delete all this code, and the last, delete post, and we delete all this code. So you see now our code looks much cleaner, and it's more obvious what is happening here. Let's just test it and see if it is still working as expected. Let's go to testing and let's run it in debug mode. We created and deleted the post, so if I refresh it, it will say that the post was deleted. So it works. It is nicely refactored into the post page object model. That's kind of a good practice. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope it was useful, and don't forget to like and subscribe on my channel.